Alright, probably a mistake video, but what the hell. It is funny, you know, because even on this guy's videos, there's people who whine and complain, oh, you shouldn't respond to this guy, he's just an asshole, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, they say the same shit on my videos, like, why am I wasting time on this moron, he's just a troll, he's just looking for subs, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just so irritating. If you don't want to watch the videos, don't watch the videos. This isn't that fucking complicated. Right? There's no such thing. Oh, he's put too many videos online. He's talking about too many things. I mean, really? Is that how you think the world works? That there's some perfect number? Or there's a number just right for you? Or somebody is supposed to glean from everything and percolate it all down for you? Do all the work for you? You don't have to do any work at all? I mean, fuck you people. I'm just so sick of these jackasses nagging about the stupidest, crappiest bullshit. All this irrelevancy. Ugh, God, you people just suck. You're worse. Well, you're not worse than him. Well, anyway, alright, so let's get to this shit. So he's going to respond to my responses to him, and I'm sure they're just going to be a bunch of semantics and bullshit and, oh, you said the wrong word. You used the word in the wrong context. Some kind of crap like that. But anyway, the beginning is this fundamental argument. All right, these people who think value isn't a truth. They don't think value is a real thing in the universe, like gravity and all this other shit. No, it's not real. Okay, so they're basically saying that, you know, until you have something to judge it, something to stand over it and look at it, the Holocaust isn't the Holocaust. Okay, I mean, you could torture a Jew on a gurney and, you know, pull its eyeballs out, you know, using eyes again. It just does come to mind, frankly. But anyway, that you could absolutely torture a consciousness, some conscious synthetic, it doesn't matter where you got it from, where you bought it from. You could just torture it. And that would all be okay as long as there's no witness, because it's the witness that makes the torture mean something. That's that's the conclusion of their logic. That's where it logically leads, is to something that imbecilic. And right from that thing, you can just say, "Oh, wait a minute, that's just too stupid." So you know automatically that can't be right, because it just doesn't go anywhere logically. You can't logically annihilate it as a truth of rational deduction. There's no alternative possible, you know, there's a possible explanation, but just like it's possible that we are living in a matrix, you know, in some kid's garage somewhere in the real universe. Like, we're not in the real universe, we're just computer programming running in a kid's garage in the real universe. Just that is a possibility, like, theoretically. It's theoretically possible that your pain and suffering isn't really pain and suffering. You know, that somehow it really isn't a bad thing, it's really good stuff. It's, you know, chocolate icing or something. But realistically, rationally, there's no evidence indicating that. All the evidence points to a certain truth, and the certain truth is that this phenomenon takes place within these conscious brains that's decidedly negative. It's not just some program that says bad, 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 or wrong, 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 wrong answer. No, it's just this feeling thing that's just completely obnoxious. And yeah, it's as provable, it's as logically and rationally as solid as your understanding of the flat earth, is your understanding that it's going to hurt like hell if you pick up a brick and smash your fucking nuts. I mean, it just is a truth, period. Anyway, let's hear his add-on.
Well, no. Here's the thing, a fact is something that has a reality that's independent of the observer, where things like right and wrong are entirely dependent upon the observer or the subject in question.
Well, whatever. Right and wrong are tricky words. Good, bad would be better ones. So you're just basically just saying that, you know, if without an observer, like I said, there could be a kitten smashed by a tree or something caught underneath a tree and it's screaming and yelling, please, please take the tree off, meow, 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 meow. And that wouldn't mean anything unless some human is looking over it going, oh, isn't that horrible? That's what he's saying. He's saying basically that a consciousness suffering is not a consciousness suffering until some other consciousness says so, which is just absolute crap. So I've made the point that, you know, pie is food. That's a fact. It feeds bodies. Okay? What your favorite flavor of pie is, well, yeah, that's subjective crap. Doesn't mean a hell of a lot. It's still a fact that you like a certain kind of pie. But whether that pie is better than some other pie, well, that's a whole different kind of thing. It's just a subjective opinion. So that doesn't mean anything. But the fact that pie has food value is a fact. Okay, and the fact that sensations have substantive, qualitative reality. Eat the damn food in the damn dish. Fucking animals. It's just a fact. Fact, fact, fact.
You could say that right and wrong, much like beauty, are entirely in the eye of the beholder. I believe you'll
no, like I said, so right there, just really, does anybody logically think that's the truth? That right and wrong, that good and bad, that positive and negative are as subjectively interpreted, okay, that are just as meaningless as whether you like vagina or like to suck dick. Like somehow these things are as unfounded, as completely psychologically made up as a sensation you have, whether you like somebody tickling you under the arms or whatever. I mean, you know, this is just such. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, this is the too stupid thing again. This is just too stupid. I can't believe I'm on a planet with goddamn beings this fucking stupid. I mean, the apes in Ape Town could figure this out. This is goddamn stupid. Alright? It is not subject to subjective interpretation. Okay? That suffering is a real thing. That pleasure is a real thing. And they're not the same fucking thing. God, you people.
An example in a minute.
No,
okay, that's all
you.
there ever is.
Well, fuck you and your examples. But anyway, we'll get to that. Till next time. Yeah, so I think we're now at something like, I'm making the point that it's all just basically beyond a reasonable doubt. That we're attempting to dissect the truth from reality to figure out how the machine works. And we make statements about the workings of the machine, and it's just basically beyond a reasonable doubt kind of a statement. And I don't think if there was an ultimate superintelligence, if it was all figured out that superintelligence would ever come to some idiotic conclusion like, it doesn't matter whether the Jews died in the Holocaust or not. No, it's going to be a truth in the end that Holocausts are bad and banana splits are good. That's going to be the truth at the end of the fucking singularity, when the whole book is written of existence. That's going to be the goddamn truth, retards. I promise you.
Well, all of the evidence you give basically boils down to, it makes me all hurty inside,
No, I mean, really, is that all you got to say? So we personally experience the world, and we have our all hurty thing that happens to us. So we know that when a tree falls on you and is crushing the air out of your lungs and you can't breathe, that's no good. You go swimming and you stay underwater a little too long, you suck in a little bit of water and you cough up and you, holy shit, I almost drowned, and that's not a good experience, and you say, wow, that wasn't fun. Okay, that wasn't anything like, you know, side boob. I mean, there was nothing good about that at all. I can tell the difference between that and being tucked into my bed. I mean, really, this is just so fucking stupid. So that's not evidence of anything. That shouldn't indicate something. Like, my personal experience should be considered as some kind of evidence that I would really hate it if, like, a rhinoceros decided to have sex with me right now. I would probably really hate that. That would be really stupid for my logical brain to come up with some kind of statement like that based on my personal experience. Yo, can you possibly say something stupider now? Please, let's see if you can get even dumber. Let's see if it can happen.
Or it's wrong. The thing is, your whole point of view has a few axioms that one must accept a priori. God damn it, I sound like Big Lundy. Before one can reach the conclusion of wrong. Namely, suffering is...
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly. Wow, you figured that out. I'm basically saying if you don't accept the fact, okay, that it sucks to have a rhinoceros rape you, then yes, we're completely different animals. We should just pave roads with retards as stone cold brain dead as you, okay? You're less than a goddamn vegetable if you can't figure out that you don't want to get raped by a rhinoceros.
Bad, and things that cause suffering are, actually just that, suffering is bad. Or you could say that life has value. Or things with the nervous system have value. All of these things are values that you could hold or could not hold. And if you don't
if you don't hold them, you're an idiot. Okay, that's all. Okay, I'm saying it's beyond a reasonable doubt. You will go to court and be convicted of idiocy. If we have a trial and we say, well, is it reasonable for you to think you should impose harm on that 5-year-old? Yeah. And they'll say, no, you shouldn't, you dumb fucking cunt. All right, and you'll be convicted as an idiot if you think you have some kind of like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's only your subjective impression that it's causing harm. No, it's not a subjective impression. It's a learned experiential realization that this is the causational effect, you dumb retard. Oh, God, yeah. So you're a convicted idiot now.
Then you won't come to the conclusion that it's wrong. Ergo, it is not a fact. Where if I say, this thing is a solid object and I can't pass my hand through it, that's a fucking fact, regardless of what I think.
Well, I'm saying that it's regardless of what you think. Okay, you can think anything you want. You want to think that people in the Holocaust were having a good time, go ahead and think it. But I'm saying you're wrong, and I know you're fucking wrong. Okay? No doubt. I have no doubt about it. I invest all my guts in that truth, okay? It's as rock solid truths get. You're going to lose in the ultimate court of judgment, okay? Just because it's invisible, right? It's not physical matter value. Value isn't physical matter. It's the context of the physical matter's interaction. It's a truth about relationship, okay? Relationship. Things have relationship. That's what creates the whole fucking universe, is the fact that there is now relationship between thing and thing. Okay? And you can describe the relationship, shithead. And value is part of relationship. Fuckwit. This statement. Okay, I guess we're done. So, till the next time. Fuck. Planets of the fucking idiots. So I said values aren't off the table, shithead, and his response is, yeah.
Values are off the table if we're discussing facts. You can't substitute your personal opinions for facts, nor can you substitute conclusions that were drawn from those values for facts. Okay? The logic of the universe forbids it.
Oh, whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to... I mean, this is just tediously stupid, right? It's not a fact that brains have neurology. The neurology creates this phenomenon. The phenomenon is a real phenomenon. There's just no doubt about that, all right? You want to argue that it doesn't... the phenomenon doesn't mean anything? I mean, you can argue it, but I don't think there's any evidence for that. There's nothing... There's nothing either intuitive or even in an abstract sense that would make that make any sense. And you'd have to deny your own personal experience. You'd have to basically say that, no, when I'm having a bad sensation, it's not a bad sensation. I mean, that's just, that it's not comparable relative to these other sensations lesser. That isn't really the truth. I mean, that's how far you're going here. You'd have to deny your own personal experience. It's just pathetic. Pathetic. Alright, I just did the turnip in the eye kind of comparison. Let's see what happens here. Knife in the turnip, knife in a Jew.
I can tell the difference, but if, for instance, I was a murderous psychopath, I wouldn't think that there would be any interest.
Yeah, well, we weren't talking about murderous psychopaths. We're talking about rational, I said beyond a reasonable doubt. Right now, murderous psychopaths are by definition not reasonable psychopaths. They're not called reasonable psychopaths, are they? No. They're not called murderous reasonable paths. So, this is just bullshit. That's right, okay? What a fucking psychopath thinks is again something that'll be convicted in court of being irrelevant.
Intrinsic difference, except perhaps trouble from the law, okay?
So he thinks the law is the thing saying it's wrong, the thing making it wrong. It's not wrong fundamentally by rational logical deduction. No, it's only wrong because the policeman said so. Oh, this is just pathetic. Hit the button. Okay, now we're at the part where I'm saying that you can tell the difference between turnips and humans. You know they have different characteristics and phenomenological capacity. So let's quit pretending it's the same thing. And he comes up with
goddamn theorizing about the fact that it's a child molesting Jew or any other kind of...
The only... I don't need any futuristic whatever the fuck you're saying. The only difference between the two on a factual level is that in one situation the knife is penetrating layers of cellulose in a legume, and in the other it's penetrating like cornea, aqueous humor, lens.
Right. So this is how these people understand our consciousness. We're the same thing when we're dead as when we're alive. And so we're going to pretend it's a dead human and a living turnip. I have to now qualify the thought experiment, which isn't even much of a thought experiment. It's just comparing a turnip to a human being. But now I have to qualify and say, no, it's a living turnip and a living conscious human being. Not a dead human being, a conscious living human being that you're sticking the knife in. Now tell me how it's the same thing.
Vitreous humor, etc. That's the facts of it, but there's no moralistic facts.
Right, so there's no difference between us being alive and being dead, because if we stick a knife in the dead thing and we stick a knife in the live thing, it's exactly the same matter that's being penetrated, so therefore it's exactly the same thing. So we should treat the living like we treat the dead. So let's bury all the living people. Yay, I vote for that. Okay, let's start with you. Let's bury you alive until you're dead. And then we'll stick a knife in you because it won't matter because you'll be dead then, right? Fuck.
Period.
Nonsense.
Yeah, well, whatever. Nonsense is right. I'd be back. Okay. It's wrong to stick a knife in a head, blah, blah, retard.
Using his feelings with realities, calling me a retard. How hurtful.
Okay, feelings with reality. So again, we don't learn anything from our personal experience as conscious entities. We don't know what feelings are. Feelings don't really exist in reality. There's no such thing as consciousness and unconsciousness. No, it's all just matter, mattering, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this is how these idiots understand reality. And I'm not supposed to be a little bit fucking goddamn disappointed and upset. I'm riding planet Earth with goddamn shit stupider. I mean, really, goddamn bugs. I think if I spent a really, a hard 2 years with a fucking cockroach, I think I'd get a cockroach to understand this shit. Damn, it's depressing.
God, I mean, this is just people.
Okay, so I made the point, having a brain makes a fundamental difference, and then this guy says, I don't remember what he said, but it doesn't matter. You missed the first couple of words, no big deal.
Views creatures with brains as fundamentally more important. What a coinky dink.
Using brains, well, I don't know what he said, so yeah, sorry. That was really useless. Yes, whatever. The point was made, and you didn't counter-argue it, okay? It's really stupid for people to say it's just bias when you recognize that something with billions of neurons is different than things with not billions of neurons. I just made the point that the animals are basically just in the same kind of struggle we are. They're just trying to find comfort. They're just trying to eke out their existence. And he says, no.
I understood your simplistic concept pretty well. What I was trying to get across is florid prose is no substitute for an actual argument.
I don't know what that means, okay? So again, it's not the florid prose here, okay? The argument is you're defending a guy who said suffering makes it taste better. You're endorsing this whole idea that you can gain your comfort by stealing it effectively from these little dumber organisms that you're going to just rape and pillage for your own convenience. I mean, this isn't that complicated a subject, retard. I mean, fuck.
Well, he's joking. That's it.
Yeah, well, let's do this.
I forgot he's a comedian. Damn. Oh, okay, my mistake.
Oh, I'm not a comedian. I'd say my strengths are more in the area of stating the insanely obvious. Just so happens most of life is pretty funny.
Point is...
Yeah, okay, so most of life is pretty funny in his opinion. Turnips are the same as conscious human beings. Okay, yeah. And he's not a comedian. And you're not afraid. I think you should be very afraid. This is the human race. This is what you're defending, you natalers. You're defending the production of this fucking shit. It really is shit. I mean, to talk this kind of shit into the jaws of horror is just really... Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I want the Martians to come here and I want them to squeeze my guts out because I'm human. And I deserve it. Just for being human. Just for being human. We deserve it. We just deserve it. Our kind has soiled itself beyond reclamation. It's just too disgusting a creature. Alright, they have the components of our identity. I made some sort of remark about the sleigh. He said, so if we're going to ride our sleigh, so it's another pun coming. Not a comedian. It's a punneride.
Slay over the bodies of these animals, which we are going to do, and I have no power to stop it, and you sure don't have any power to stop it.
Like that makes any sense at all, right? So you're saying that well, number one, I can prove I've stopped some of it. Yeah, like we don't stop anything by discussing it and talking about it. That's not how anything is ever stopped. You don't change anything by talking. Oh, I mean, come on. Oh, come on. This is too stupid.
But why not laugh all the way? If you have no control, why not laugh?
Alright, whatever. Again, so you're saying we have no control. That words have no meaning. You're saying that on YouTube making videos. So why are you doing this? You're doing this for you, right? So that's all it means to you. It's just something you do for you. You don't have any other purpose. You don't have anything that motivates you beyond some sort of just ego thing, and maybe you are just trying to get subscribers and so you're just being provocative for the sake of it. It's you really suck, man. There's really nothing. I'm losing all reason to like you at all, really. I hit the button.
It's a lot better than, being a self-hating, self-pitying, hand-wringing piece of shit, being a fucking buzzkill to everybody.
Oh, a buzzkill. Isn't that cute? So, right, anybody who talks about anything serious is just a buzzkill. Just all them naysayers. Nuclear war, who cares? Killing Iraq, who cares? Iraqi war, who cares? Lying presidents, who cares? Don't care about anything. Man. Fuck. God, I hate you. I just hate you, no carers. Ugh. Jeez. Ugh. Ew, you're worse than the enemy. I mean, really, the enemy sucks because they're evil and nasty, but you fence walking, no carers are just, God, I so wish, there was some way to get you out of the way. I said something simple like, we don't walk around with our IQs on our sleeve, and then he says, I know what you're thinking.
But this is actually my sperm count. Radiation's a bitch, man.
Do we? So, I mean, our IQ isn't...
He's not a comedian. Alright, so I point out that the most precious thing about it is our harmability. He says, I don't want to do this emo shit. So he's going to do some emo shit. Let's see.
Looks like you leave me no choice. Like, what would be harmful? Do you think ripping out chest hair? Oh, look at all that chest hair.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, another stunter. Okay, it's like Fred, walking on nails. Yeah, I can pull hair out, too. Gee. Oh, wow, look how much that hurt. I mean, God, I could do that all day, jackass. Let's have a real competition. Maybe we should poke our eye out. How about, did you do that when you were like 7 years old? I mean, this is your response to a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid with cancer. Maybe the 7th round of chemo. This is your response. Let me pull out some fucking hairs. There. Oh, it's cancer. Fuck. No, fuck you. Fuck you. This is just bullshit. Yeah, so that's the definition of suffering for you. Okay, got it. Okay, yeah, alright, I know you're an idiot now. A complete, beyond reasonable doubt, double, triple, 3 strikes, idiot. Okay, so we're done now, right? Yeah, I'm done anyway. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been fun. Not.